I feel like you guys judge me. Are you judging me? Are you like, wait a minute, we saw Devin cast on a thing and then we never saw that project again. What happened? Where is it? Free the project, Devin. Is it in like a dark closet somewhere? Are you depriving it of food and water? What are you doing with the project? You cast it on. You loved it once. Where did it go? Hey knitters, welcome to the Knitty McPurly podcast. I'm your host, Devin Ventry. You can find me at KnittyMcPurly.com. I am Knitty McPurly on Instagram. And if you want to email me, I am Devin at KnittyMcPurly.com. Welcome. I am so glad that you are here. I am podcasting today from the tundra. It is so cold and it's like 1,000 miles an hour wind. And it's like we opened the door to let the dog out and he's like, no, thank you. But that's great because then we get to wear our knits. Woohoo! You might notice that I am drinking out of my brand new Illinois mug. Look how cute it is. Charlotte was like, Mom, this is the cutest one. I'm like, I know, because it's pink and purple. It has all of these cool Illinois things on it. I got this wonderful package, 2 packages, actually, from my Illinois friends, Annette, Carol, Barb, and Lana, who has since moved, but I think still identifies as an Illinoisian. I don't know. Look at this adorable card that they sent me. Isn't that so cute? What is it about Americans and the shapes of our states that we love so much? We just love them. Put some yarn on there and we are so happy. So they wrote me a lovely note about attending my retreats. All 4 of these ladies come to my retreats together. If you're new to the Knitty McPurly podcast, I know many of you are new. I host a knitting retreat I say about every 2 years, even though it's been every 2 years in January. And we're coming up on the odd year. I had a 2023 and a 2025, and the next one should theoretically be in 2027. So I'll be talking a little bit about that today. Why don't we just talk about it right now? Why do we have to wait? So I am starting to plan it. The thing about these retreats is I love them. I absolutely love going to them. They are so much fun. Gigi came with me to the last one. She wants to come to the next one. And I love you guys so much. You are such a wonderful group of human beings. Like, you know how in the knitting community, some people aren't nice? None of those people come to my retreats. The people who come are wonderful. So I love them. However, it is a lot of work. You know, you have to do all that stuff behind the scenes ahead of time to get it all going. So, and it's not the planning. I love the planning. It's kind of like having a baby where it's exciting at the beginning and it's exciting at the end, but there's 9 months of slog in the middle. That's what it's like. Anyway, I am tentatively, fairly seriously looking at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the next retreat. I move them around. First one was in North Carolina, and then we went to Texas in Dallas. The thing I like about Pittsburgh is that it's only like 4 hours from my house. It is an international airport, so no matter where you are coming from, you can get there in one airplane. A lot of you are flying in, so I like for you to be able to get there in one airplane. Also, I like to pick some place that if you don't have to rent a car, so you don't have to rent a car, you could potentially not rent one and you could just get a shuttle from the airport, which should be free with the hotel. So I'm at the very beginning of this planning process. I did look around the area around the Pittsburgh airport and I found a couple of very cute yarn stores. Pittsburgh is kind of like DC in that the airport is to the west. Well, DC has a couple airports, but we always fly out of Dulles. We live on the west side of DC in Virginia. So I'm looking at yarn stores that are, you know, at the furthest in Pittsburgh, but not, you know, on the east side. That would be too far because I want the hotel to be close by. But anyway, if you know of any and you would like to throw them out there, that would be great. And even if somebody is further away, but they're willing to come to us, that would be a good option too. So it's a great deal because it is a lot of amazing women who would like to purchase yarn. So it's a great deal for anybody. If you know of anybody who might be interested, let me know. I will give you lots of warning before registration opens. It's not going to be for a couple of months, but just to kind of keep it in the back of your mind. Do I want to go to a Knitty McPurly retreat in January of 2027 with a lot of other wonderful people, probably in Pittsburgh? That's what I'm thinking of right now. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. You will not miss it. It won't be like, oh my gosh, the registration went up and I missed it. There will be announcements on the podcast and in the newsletter, which is something else I want to talk about. Here it is. Let's talk about the newsletter. I don't send out very many newsletters. The last one I sent out was December 1st. And then I just felt like it's been crazy. It was crazy in December, and then there was Christmas, and then it was January, and everyone has been sick. So it's just been a lot of sickness. And so I just haven't sent out very many. Usually I send out 1 or 2 a month. But if you signed up and you're like, Devin, I think I'm not getting the newsletter, you are. I just haven't sent any. Another question that I get sometimes is, I signed up for the newsletter and it said there was a discount code and I waited for it to come to me and it didn't. I think what happens is when you sign up for the newsletter, that code pops up and it shows it to you, and that's it. It's not going to send you an email telling you what it is. If you signed up and you don't know what it is, just send me an email and I can very easily just give you the code. It's no big deal. So, but when you sign up, right then it'll pop up and it says, this is your code to enter in to get your 10% off. Okay. I have had a couple of ladies finish their advent calendar project from last December's advent calendar, which is pretty good because it is the beginning of February. So that's pretty amazing. This is Annette of the Volcano Project. If you've been following this podcast for a while, you remember Annette. She made a Ninilchik swan show with the blues. I don't know what she's doing with the greens. We'll have to follow up with her and find out. Now I thought that this was a fingering weight pattern, but it is not. The Ninilchik swan show is DK weight, and it is so beautiful. She did such a good job, and she looks great in this swan show. I kind of feel like I love my swan show that I made, the cottage swan show, but it's another thing that just makes me feel a little bit tubby. I don't know. You guys were so nice last time. You're like, you're not tubby. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. But Annette looks amazing in it. Also, Wendy finished this Scrappy Stripes sweater by Mary Gannon, a sweater I did not know existed, which was designed to use DK weight advent calendars. So it was perfect. This was also DK. So both of these ladies got the advent calendar in DK. I'm also starting to think about this year's advent calendar. I feel like you guys really liked having the option of it being either fingering weight or DK. Maybe we'll do that again. That's a good option. Okay. Also, I wanted to thank you. Many of you placed pre-orders within the past week for the Dirty Caramel sweater. Check it. Look, I sewed a label in there. What's funny is that I sewed a one of a kind label in there, but all of you who buy the kits are going to have one just like this. So many of you pre-ordered the kits for that sweater. Thank you for your patience. The sickness, we've been calling it the flu, but it's some kind of virus. I don't know. We didn't actually get tested for the flu. Has been just knocking us down one at a time. And it's been so insidious. Although sometimes it's worse when everybody's sick at one time, because then nobody can do anything. So I guess it worked out. But anyway, it took me down on Sunday. Last week, my mom texted me and she's like, you seemed a little off in the podcast. And I was like, did I? Yeah, I was getting ready to be taken down by the flu. It got me midday Sunday. And I was busy. Like I did the podcast and I went to a friend's house Saturday night, Sunday morning, just busy, just constant go. And then I was like, I have to go to bed. And I went to bed and I slept and then I didn't get up for 3 days. And that put me back 3 days of dying. So I'm all better now, which is great. Some people it took down for longer periods. So I'm glad that it only took me down for 3 days. Can't keep me down. Gotta dye the yarn. So anyway, those will be shipping out on Monday. Monday's not a holiday or anything, right? No, President's Day is the week after. So thank you for being patient. I really appreciate that. Okay, that was a lot of announcements. Let's move on to progress and shop news. The 2026 clubs are going amazing. They are so great. I think you guys are really happy. I pop into the Facebook group every now and then and just see what you guys are doing, which reminds me, I need to do that. I haven't been in a little bit and I want to see the progress. There are a few openings in a year of hats for March. Can you hear the wind? It is like a tornado out there, a snow-nado. It's not snowing. It's actually like totally blue skies. It's just super windy. It woke us all up at like 4 o'clock this morning. There are openings in a year of hats for March. So if you join right now, you will get March's club, which is shipping out. Normally, I like to aim for the 15th. It'll be probably 3 days late because I lost 3 days. But anyway, it doesn't matter as long as it is there by March 1st so that we can all cast on. I have finished my February hat, and it is February, I don't know. My son changed my watch to Snoopy, and so now it doesn't have the date. It's cute, and I love it, but it doesn't have the date. Okay. Look at it. Isn't it great? Oh my gosh. Look at how great it is. How many of you have this exact hat? I think a lot of people made the everywhere hat. This is my everywhere hat pattern, which is forever free. I talked about it last week. I don't know if I can get it over my bun. I've got a bun in my hair and it's just not really conducive to a hat today, but I love it. I'm going to be wearing this. Can you hear that? Oh my gosh, it's going to come through the wall. I'm going to be wearing this for my walk, and it's probably not good for this weather. I need to wear my allotrope hat for this weather. But, oh, the pom-pom. I love Jamie, who makes these pom-poms. She is so great. Like, she already has the April pom-poms in the mail to me. Like, she's just right on top of everything. I love it. I love it. It's so funny. I got so many comments about this color that you guys love it. People are like, this has to be a permanent color. This is not the Knitty McPurly vibe. If you follow like pineapple knits, this is her all day long. Everything she does is inspired by the beach. This is definitely a color that she would have, but this is not really my vibe, but I do love it. So the year of hats it's like potato chips for me. I feel like, because we would all love to sit down and eat a whole bag of potato chips. I would love that. But that's not practical. That wouldn't be good for me. But potato chip knitting is always good for everybody. And these hats are that. I cannot wait for you guys to see what I have coming out for March. The yarn for the Hat Club, Year of Hats, is different every month. You get a different yarn every month. Now, the thing about the Blanket Club is it doesn't have as many openings because people are doing a blanket and they want the whole year's worth. But I have had a couple, and they go up on the website on the 2nd of the month at noon Eastern time. So if there are any openings, that is when they will come up. Yeah, but if you're in, don't leave because you'll never get back in. Okay, this is the don't judge me part, and it has to do with the potato chip knitting. I feel like you guys judge me. Are you judging me? Are you like, wait a minute, we saw Devin cast on a thing and then we never saw that project again. What happened? Where is it? Free the project, Devin. Is it in like a dark closet somewhere? Are you depriving it of food and water? What are you doing with the project? You cast it on. You loved it once. Where did it go? Well, sometimes it just needs to sit and think about what it did to me, which usually was nothing. I don't know. I just was all done with it. And I did a thing. And you're going to understand. If you have knit a Timbo vest, you're going to understand why I had to do this thing. But I had to cast on a Timbo vest. So I really wanted kind of a Valentine theme Timbo vest. But I wanted to do it in Bougie and Glacier. But I already have a Bougie vest and a Glacier vest. So I thought, I'm going to do Fontaine because I wanted it to be Valentine-y. Speaking of Valentine-y, I'm wearing my Valentine sweater just to go with my nails. That's like my whole reason. I did the nails to go with the sweater. So here I am wearing it. Okay. 2 things. I needed another Timbo vest because we all need that. And I needed one in the Virginia woolen spun bulky because it is so amazing. As a brief aside, if I can take a brief aside, I got a call from Francis this morning. Francis is 90, and he is the guy who does my yarn for me, who does the Virginia woolen spun for me. He and his team, obviously. 90-year-old Francis is not out there, running the crank on the giant machine. But he called me this morning and we talked for about 45 minutes because you can't have a short conversation with Francis. But he is just such a delight. They had to raise their prices a little bit, which is totally fair. But I was kind of trying to negotiate a little. I was like, well, can we, And he calls me up and he's like, Devin, the quality, the Rambouillet, it is the best. It's like, it's a tier above merino. It is the finest micron, the staple length, and the cotton. And by the end, I was like, Francis, of course, I'll pay you whatever you want. It doesn't matter what you ask me for. I will give you whatever you want. It's like, you need to live forever because no one has charisma like you. I would buy whatever you were selling. Thankfully, it's amazing, amazing yarn. So anyway, back to my Timbo vest. I decided that I needed to use the Virginia Woolen Spun Bulky, and here it is in the Fontaine. It's the same as, now this is DK weight, but it's the same as what I used in my Dirty Caramel. And it is everything that I wanted and more. I cast this on like yesterday, and it's bulky, and you're working it on 10.5 inch needles, and it is just so great. I do feel like it's a little bit, the neck a little wider. I don't know. I don't care. I didn't gauge swatch because I don't really care how it fits, as I'm okay with the range of fits. But what I'm going to do is make it a little bit shorter because I am in love with the high-waisted pants and the shorter top. I've actually kind of always loved that. Even like in the 90s, that was kind of a thing in the 90s briefly. Loved it. So this is going to be Fontaine on the top and Glacier, which is that cool white on the bottom. Again, if I love it and I need another one, don't judge me. I need as many Timbo vests as I need, okay? That's just how many I need. We don't know yet. We don't know what the saturation point is of Timbo vests. Like, how many is too many? Right now, I think I had two. I made two. I donated one because I made it a little bit too, I didn't mind that it was but it was too long and wide, and it was just too big. So I donated that one. We'll see. I might need both. Don't judge me. Okay, so until I get my Year of Hats yarn, until I get my March hat, I'm going to be working on this. And that was why, because I wanted to wear my Valentine sweater on Valentine's Day. Valentine is the name of this red, not the name of the pattern. This is the sweater that has no pattern. But I did a series a year or so ago on how to knit a sweater based on a garment in your closet that you love, using those measurements. And that, I think, is fairly well marked. If you go back in my episodes, I think it's a 6-part series where I talk about how I knit the sweater. And if you have something in your closet that you love how it fits, you can take the measurements of it and make a pattern out of it. If you've knit a couple sweaters and you basically know how to construct stuff. Anyway, I wore this today so that I can wear my Timbo vest next week, because obviously I will have it done by then. Bulky weight, 10.5. It's all going to be done quickly. Am I a little scattered again? I don't know. Maybe. I kind of feel like this is how I am. I said to my husband today, I'm like, does your brain ever just feel kind of tangled up? He was like, nope. I was like, oh, I guess it's just me. All right, moving on to the comments section. Many of you volunteered to test Danielle's sock pattern. Thank you so much, Danielle. Go back to last week's episode, go through the comments, let those folks know how they can get in touch with you, and then you'll have your test. I'm so excited for you. Okay, Always Yarn first. Hi, Lindsay. She says, thanks for mentioning the retreat. The location really is perfection. Lindsay works at Arkansas Yarn Co. and helps Lori to run her retreat. I got a couple messages from you, from some of you saying I signed up or I'm going to sign up. It is a really great retreat. It's just beautiful. The resort is so nice and woodsy and wonderful. If I could afford it, I would absolutely be going. She says, my daughter loves to tell her coworkers at the coffee shop that I work at a yarn store, and then she tells them how much drama there is in the knitting world, and they don't believe it. She says, frankly, I don't believe there's so much drama either. And it's a funny thing about drama, and I'm going to talk about more of that in the heart-to-heart section, is that all drama is somebody who just keeps talking, right? Like if everybody stopped talking, there would be no drama. It's the chatter. That's what keeps the drama alive. Angela Geiger says, so happy your podcast recorded this week. My top takeaways, I can't believe you bought another mug. Your dirty caramel sweater is stunning. And Rachel knitting a fingering weight cardigan for her daughter-in-law's Sunday school assistant is next level generous. That's Rachel. I know Rachel because she has contributed a couple of stories. And this is what she does. She is an extremely generous knitter. Lots of you are like that. I'm less so. Jean said, we were on vacation last summer and we got a text from our son saying, do not buy any more mugs. We do not need any more mugs, which is really not the way that I feel at all. In fact, I've been thinking I need to put together a list of states from which I do not have a mug yet. But so happy to have Illinois. I love it. And it's so pretty. It's got a lot of Illinois stuff on it. Okay, Sears Tower, right? Corn. Beans? Is this a bean? Is that like a thing? Ferris wheel? I don't know what this is. Does anybody know what that is? A church? I briefly had this idea when I was in high school that I wanted to go to Loyola University, I guess. I forget what it's called in Chicago. So I'm not sure who told me I should go visit it in January, but I did that and I didn't want to go there anymore. When that wind comes off of Lake Michigan, like why do so many people live there? It is so cold. You would need, I can't even imagine the cold weather gear that you would need to live in the face of that wind every day. Of course, I've got it today. They sent it down here. Shayna says, the podcaster Min Wolden, guessing, don't know how to say it, says that her gauge has loose morals, and it makes me laugh so hard that I've adopted saying it as well. I love that. My gauge has loose morals too. It's embarrassing, frankly. Lori said, I've had that same Swift, the Swift I showed last week, for 2 years now, and it has developed a squeak. It's wood rubbing on wood, right? Any idea what to use to stop the squeak? So I asked my husband because he is great at fixing stuff and he just knows things like that. Maybe because he's a man, but I feel like he's especially good at it. And he said some kind of wax, like a wood wax. He's like, or hand balm for knitters. Just take like a tiny bit and just kind of see if you can get it where the rubbing is happening. Might work. If it works and there's a new use for it, that would be just the best. All right, knitting fantasies. If you are new to the podcast, this is the part of the podcast where we talk about amazing things that we would love to knit if we had the time. And sometimes we find things that we're willing to give the time. My first knitting fantasy is not a pattern. This is from an email that came into my inbox today from Loft. It's a sweater that is for sale over at Loft, and you can go buy it if you want to, but I know none of you want to buy it. We all want to knit it. Look at how gorgeous this sweater is. I love absolutely everything about it. So it has lace on the sleeves, lace on the sides. Looks like, I'm not exactly sure what this pattern is. Oh, if I zoom in, I can see. It's kind of like a seed stitch separated by a rib down the front. But look at the button band and the collar band. You guys, those are lace. It would be a challenge to get it to lay flat, but you could do it. I totally want to knit this. I think it is so gorgeous. This should be a pattern, right? Okay. My second pick is seasonal, and it is a crochet pattern. So I am a terrible crocheter. I'm just bad at it. This is the Happy Hearts sweater by Hannah Cross. It is brand new. It was released, I just realized this, February 2026. It is a DK weight crochet pattern. It comes in all manner of sizes from 30 inches up to 62 inches. That's the same span that I do. And it's in pounds, so she must be British, about $8. It's so cute. I love it. Perfect Valentine's Day sweater. Very, very pretty. I love both versions, but I think I like the short sleeve version a little bit more. I don't like how wide the sleeves are in the longer sleeve version. Of course, you could do some decreases to shore them up a little bit, but I think this is really, really cute. Definitely recommend it. All right. So here's what happened. Comes from Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Kathy emailed me the story and she mailed it to me with a gift for Apollo. And I took a little video of Apollo getting his gift, and I will put that at the end of the story. But let me go ahead and read this to you. She says, oh, there's 2 stories in here. Yes. She says, Devin, I've had a story to send you for a while, but it wasn't until you talked about the thrummed mittens that I got motivated to write this up. A couple years ago at DFW Fiber Fest, I won a door prize. Yay! But it was to the only booth in the entire marketplace that didn't sell yarn. They were a lovely Texas farm that primarily produced fleece and roving for spinning. After my initial disappointment about not adding more yarn to my stash, I selected some beautiful bags of merino silk alpaca with a faint thought that it might finally be time to learn to spin. Instead, I Googled what can I do with a bunch of roving, and Ysolda Teague's pattern for thrummed slippers popped up. It's such a great stash busting and gifting pattern. For $0, I made my first pair and then proceeded to make 15 pairs for Christmas and into the following very cold January. Everyone loves them. Oh my gosh, who wouldn't? Depending on the audience, I joke that when you first put them on, it's like sticking your foot up the bum of a really fluffy sheep. Maybe that's too graphic. I've had several requests for additional pairs from friends who suffer with neuropathy and cold extremities, and my sister, who lives in Western New York, even brought them home this Christmas for repairs because she wears them so much even to sleep in. I've attached a few pictures for fun. For anyone who wants to try and doesn't have roving sitting around, Malabrigo has braids called Noob, widely available for about $16 in an amazing variety of colors. One braid will make 3 or 4 pairs. That is awesome. She says, that same cold January, I was visiting my best friend from high school in Lexington, Kentucky, and ended up snowed in for over a week. She owns a dog-centric business called Yappy Place, treadmills, dog wash, grooming, etc., that includes specialty retail. I had just taught her to knit the prior year, and of course we were watching the snowfall. I was churning out more slippers. I asked her if she or her mom would enjoy a pair, and she said, what I'd really like is a pattern to make dog scarves for the shop. Can you do that? Well, I've been knitting for 48 years and read hundreds of patterns, but never drafted a pattern before. It seemed like a thing I should be able to do. Cast on a few stitches and started experimenting. By the end of the afternoon, I had a working prototype, and my friend was weighing in on the best way to fasten and sizing. Over the next year, she became the world's best test knitter and photographer. As I'm sure you know, starting a small business is stressful and full of surprises, not always good ones. She frequently mentions what a gift that goofy little pattern has been to her. She knits them to relax in the evenings. She loves working out the color combinations, and they've helped pay the unexpected bills that every small business has to deal with occasionally. She knit dozens in fabulous color combinations for holiday seasons, football teams, etc., and even worked out the sizing for me based on various breeds. In return, I told her I would grant the sole licensing rights to produce the scarves for sale. Her own Chinese crested powder puffs, Biff and Doc, were excellent models. My favorite is the Ohio State colors with a buckeye for the pom-pom. The scarves with coordinating kerchiefs have turned into a good source of retail for her shop, and she has had enough requests for the pattern that I have finally put on my big girl pants and published the goofy pattern called the Possum Dog Scarf. When I mentioned that you had lost Rocky and added Apollo to your family, she sent me one to pass along with the story. Thank you so much, Kathy. Do I have it? Yes, I do. So here, look how cute this is. This is adorable because it stays put. It's got like a loop here, and you can tighten it, which is really smart. And it's got this adorable pom-pom. Okay, so here is a video of Apollo getting it for the first time.
What a cutie you are. You're so cute.
What? You're just... I know. He's so excited. Okay, we're going to put the scarf on. Can you wear a scarf? You want to wear a scarf? All right, let's see here. Why don't you have a seat? Sit. We're working on sit. Oh, yes.
You're such a good boy. I know. You're such a good boy.
This is kind of the pterodactyl phase. You know how they go through kind of a crazy phase? I'm going to put it on him really fast.
Oh, look how handsome.
He's like, what is it? I want to chew it. Can you just show the people? Look how cute you are. What's up here? What's up here? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for this adorable scarf. He would like to eat it. But the good thing about this scarf is that it will fit him when he exits the pterodactyl phase. Maybe I put the thing to the back. It's gone. Where did it go? He's like, where is it? Thank you, Kathleen. He loves it. All right, here we are at the heart-to-heart section. This is the part of the podcast where we stop talking about knitting and we just talk about stuff in life. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I think, what am I interested in? What's going on with me? So, one of the things that I want to do for this year's Advent calendar is I want a branded box. There are some yarn advent calendars out there that look so good, and I don't know where they're getting their boxes. Some of them I have asked, and they have not told me. I actually reached out to Skein Cocaine this morning, Gina. She lives a couple hours from me, and she's very sweet. Apparently, she's not dyeing yarn anymore. I was really surprised. I didn't get the details, but anyway, she said she didn't know. I thought that she had branded boxes, but she just used the U-line ones that I had been using. So anyway, if you know anything about that, let me know, because I would love, like the roses, Ruby and Roses has this beautiful box that opens. Where did she get that? I need one. I need a lot for the advent calendar. So anyway, I'm kind of going down this rabbit hole, looking for the boxes, just looking at stuff. And I come across a Reddit thread. Are they called threads? I don't know. A Reddit thing talking about me. And it was not nice. They did not like me. And it was just so funny. I just was like, I said to my husband, like, who takes time out of their day to go on and on about a person they don't know? Because they didn't know me. They were like, this podcast came across my feed and I got this vibe from her. She was just so MAGA. They kept calling me MAGA. I don't talk about politics. I don't. I am a Christian. I love Jesus. And I guess people want to extrapolate. Like when I talked about Petite Knit, I said that she lives a traditional life, which she does. And people said, Devin said that Petite Knit is a conservative Christian. I'm like, I don't know if she's conservative. I don't even know. Do they have conservatism in Denmark? A lot of people from Denmark watch this podcast. Hello, Danes, you guys are awesome. What kind of conservatism do they have in Denmark? I don't know. I don't know if she's a Christian. But I was telling my husband, I'm like, it's just so funny. Like if you say a thing like Charlie Kirk died and I cried, they make many assumptions about you, and they're fine about just saying it. Like they hate me so much. And I'm like, why? I'm nice. I'm a nice person. You shouldn't hate me. It's so weird. Why would you spend your time like that? But there was one thing that someone said, and it was particular about another yarn dyer that I had said something disparaging about her. And so I sent her a message this morning and I was like, I don't care if the internet hates me. That's totally fine. I genuinely could not care less. I feel like mirth. It's just hilarious to me that people have spent any amount of time writing this stuff on the internet. But I don't want you to think that I said something disparaging about you, because I think you are lovely. And I, told her what I really think of her was that I think that she's wonderful. So, there are like relationships between real people that matters. Hate on the internet, that's not anything. But it's funny. Like, it's just so funny to me. What is it? I don't know. It's so weird. Gotta wonder about the internet. Like, I follow this one guy on the internet. He's this on Instagram. I follow him on the internet. Follow him on Instagram. His name is Ethan Bernard. And this guy, he's super tall. He's like 6'5", and he's this 26-year-old guy. And he weighed like 700 pounds or some really crazy amount. And he is the sweetest, like just the sweetest, most earnest. Chris Pratt follows him. Jocko Willick does stuff with him. He's just trying to lose weight, and he's down to like 440 pounds. And so there's that. Like, there's this 26-year-old young man who has lived his life being so overweight and unhappy. And he is just getting himself together in the best possible way. And I love that about the internet. But then there's Reddit. It was funny. And so I didn't read all of it. It was like, this is so silly. But it's funny anyway. Does that happen to you in your real life? No. As soon as you enter the knitting community, it's a lot. Okay. Anyway, you guys are wonderful. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful week. Have a great week, knitters. See you next time.